Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we are tackling something that is absolutely crucial to your health and the longevity of your RV, and that is properly sanitizing your RV's plumbing system. Now, one of the most common questions we get is, can't I just pour some bleach in there and call it a day? And I get it. Bleach is sitting in most of our homes. It kills germs. So why not do that? Today, we're going to show you why bleach is actually one of the worst choices for your RV's plumbing system, despite how commonly it is recommended. And I got to be truthful. I've recommended it myself. I've used it myself, but I've learned something very important about it. And I'm going to share it with you. More importantly, not only going to share it with you, I'm going to show you what you should be using instead to keep your water clean and safe and your plumbing in top condition for years to come. Now, before I dive in, if you are new here and you want to avoid costly RV mistakes like this one using bleach, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And trust me, your RV and your wallet will thank you. Let's talk about why bleach is problematic for your RV's plumbing system. Despite being a very effective disinfectant, it comes with some serious drawbacks. First, bleach is highly corrosive, and over time, it can damage rubber seals and gaskets, O-rings throughout your plumbing system, and the PEX lines, the little rubber plumbing lines that run through your RV. These aren't just minor components. They're what keep your system from leaking. And when these fail, you're looking at potentially expensive repairs and water damage. Secondly, bleach can actually break down the protective lining in some RV water heaters, leading to premature failure or corrosive issues. When you're talking about replacing a water heater, that's a significant expense and a headache. And third, many RVers don't realize that bleach residue can remain in your system much longer than you'd expect. That means you could be drinking trace amounts of bleach for days or weeks after sanitizing, not exactly what you want on a camping trip. And finally, here's an environmental aspect. When you dump your tanks after sanitizing with bleach, that bleach is entering the environment, which can harm aquatic systems around the campgrounds and RV parks. So what should you use instead? I'm going to show you a step-by-step process using RV-specific sanitizers that are effective against bacteria and biofilm without damaging your system or harming the environment. Now, we recently got some expert help from a company called Blu Technology. They specialize in 3-stage water filtration systems. They've also developed this very effective bleach-free sanitizing product that makes the whole maintenance process so much easier than anything I've ever done before. Like I said, I've used bleach before, and it's time-consuming. It's nasty. It stinks. You really need goggles, and it's just yucky. Now, I want to be completely upfront with you. This is not an advertisement. Blu Technology has not paid me a single cent to talk about their products. What they did do, which was incredibly generous, was they agreed to come out to our fifth wheel and demonstrate the entire water system. Now, I got to tell you, they didn't have to go far because it turns out that Blu Technology is in the same town as our RV is stored, which is Kalamazoo, Michigan. So they came out after we reached out to them, and they walked through the entire water sanitation process in person with me. So let's just jump right in, and I'm going to show you how their water filtration system and this bleach-free solution made it a snap to sanitize the plumbing system in our fifth wheel. As we start this, we should probably explain what this is first and what role this will play.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our AR3. This is our 3-stage 5-inch filtration system. This is what you'll be using for your sanitizer. So when it comes to it, removing this canister, which contains our Tasty filter inside of it, you'll take the Tasty filter out and you'll add the sanitizer right into that canister. Apply that canister back onto the system without the filter included, and that'll be how you get through the sanitizer into your system.
So this will run the sanitizer into the fifth wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back to that because the purpose is to show everybody how to sanitize. But while we're at this, The 5-inch filter means this is the length of the filter, right?
Yes, sir.
And there are 3 of them here, and they're labeled longevity, off-grid, and tasty. What does that mean?
Hey, absolutely, yeah. So our longevity filter, that is a 5-micron sediment filter. So that gets out your bigger debris, like your sand, silt, anything like that that's above 5 microns. So essentially you're wanting to get out the bigger pieces of debris before you get to our off-grid filter. Because our off-grid filter, you go 25 times smaller, down to the 0.2 micron filter. So that 0.2 micron filter, that's going to be your protection against bacteria, as well as our off-grid filter actually has an electroadhesive coating on it. Essentially, it uses an ion exchange to filter below a 0.2 micron level down to a 0.02 micron level, which is virus level. So with that off-grid filter, you're getting virus reduction and bacteria reduction.
And what does tasty mean?
The tasty filter is a granular activated carbon filter.
That's the kind of one most people put on, just
Yep.
granular carbonate.
Yeah, that improves the taste and smell of your water, works to remove chlorine, hydrogen sulfide, which is like a rotten egg smell, any type of bad chemical that would contribute to a smell or taste in your water.
How often do you have to replace those filters?
Yeah, so our filters are rated for 3,000 to 4,000 gallons. So average RV usage full time, about 3 to 4 months. And then we recommend to swap filters out every 4 months.
Every 4 months. All right, so the water comes in this way, I can tell, with the quick release.
Yes, sir.
And it goes out this way. I said it comes in and goes like so, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does this reduce water pressure?
So our filters are high flow filters. So at most, you'll see a 10% reduction in pressure. So it tries as hard as it can to keep that source pressure unchanged.
All right. Well, I think our first thing is I'm going to sanitize. And as I sanitize, what attracted me to you guys in the first place was the fact that I shouldn't use bleach, which we've always heard before, use bleach. What's wrong with bleach?
Yeah, so bleach can be, it's more of a corrosive material. It can start to degrade PEX materials over time.
PEX is what the plumbing is.
Yep, the plumbing inside most internal RVs. As well as it can build up residue over time, kind of leaving a bleach residue inside of your RV lines, which to me is never good. And then our sanitizer is NSF certified, so it's more of a less harmful sanitizer. So with like ours, you can run it through your canister system, run it through your water softener, no trouble in contaminating what's inside of it.
Well, now here's a question on the sanitation part.
Mm-hmm.
All the other ones say that you got to bypass the water heater, that you really need to let it sit there for 8 to 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yours doesn't do that?
No, sir.
And why?
Yeah, so that's one of the pros of our sanitizer. You do not actually need to bypass the hot water heater. All right, so essentially once you get your filter system, make sure your hoses are plugged into it. Inlet hose will bring the water in. The outlet hose will carry the water over to your RV city water connection. So make sure that's plugged in. So now your last filter that's on the system for this 3-stage is going to be the tasty filter. You'll want to remove this canister. So with this filter key, this stainless steel collar up here, it will have holes throughout the collar. Simply insert the key in one of those holes, and you'll have to rotate that counterclockwise. You just need to do it a little bit with the key. Once you get it loose, you'll be able to hand loosen it the rest of the way off. So once we get that off, you'll remove the tasty filter. So this is our tasty filter. Put that on top here. Now this is where we'll insert the sanitizer into. So this is our bleach-free sanitizer. Inside you'll get 2 packets, and each of those packets contains a 1/2 ounce of that sanitizer.
And how much will that sanitize?
So each 1/2 ounce packet will sanitize up to 20 gallons of water. So for your city lines, we recommend running both packets. And then for your freshwater holding tank, that can depend on how big your tank is. So now that we have that sanitizer packets, here's what it will look like.
Okay.
So we'll get 2 of these packets opened up. Go ahead, put that one packet in there. And we'll go ahead and insert that second.
Not a lot of stuff though.
No, not at all. So now with that sanitizer inside the canister, without the filter, we're going to reapply that back into the filter system. So yeah, it does smell a lot better than that bleach smell. Alright, so now that we got this hooked up, hose into the city water connection, we're going to turn the water on and you'll start to see how this sanitization process works.
Okay.
Alright, so
That's
now
the water running.
Yep, so now that we're in the RV, you'll also see that it looks foamy coming out.
So it does.
So with the sanitizer, you'll want to have it run for about 15 minutes or until the foaming stops completely, which happens around that 15-minute mark.
Now I have it running on the cold side right now. I would imagine I would also then do that on the hot side.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it's going there. Let's go take a look at the other two then. In the bathroom. That's running. I can smell it. Wow, it smells kind of sulfurish almost. And there's the shower. And you see the foam down there. So we let this go for how long?
15 minutes or until the foaming action stops.
Okay. That's still foaming. All right. 15 minutes or until the foaming action stops. We'll watch.
So now we got your freshwater city lines sanitized. Now we're going to be sanitizing the freshwater tank. So with each $19.99 pack of the bleach-free, you'll get 2.5 fluid ounce packets. So each of these packets can sanitize up to 20 gallons of water. So how big is your freshwater tank?
75 gallons.
75 gallons. So for that 75-gallon tank, you'll want to use 4 of these packets, because 4 of these packets will sanitize up to 80 gallons of water, ensuring that the solution going into your tank isn't too diluted to properly sanitize everything.
All right, so we run it the same way through again, right? And then I would imagine I have to drain it, right? To drain the fresh water?
Yes, sir. So once you fill up your freshwater holding tank with the sanitizer, you'll let it sit for 15 minutes. Once it sits, you'll want to empty it out through your low point drain.
Okay.
So once it's all emptied out of your low point drain, that's where you'll want to fill up your freshwater tank again with just fresh potable water. Flush out any remaining sanitized solution that may still be in your tank.
So that's it? Just 2 emptying of the waters and I'm good?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Wow. Then we'll
As
do it
simple
all
as
again
that.
next year. We'll sanitize.
Absolutely.
And I've got fresh water from now on with that filter system.
Yes, you do.
Hey, Cale, I noticed one thing it says here. It says mix each packet with 4 gallons of water. But we're not doing that because of the filters, right?
Yep. So that's the good thing about our sanitizer, especially with our filtration systems. So using this, you'll just have to remove the last canister. That'll make it so you don't need to mix it with 4 gallons of water. It'll mix with all the water that flows through your canisters, carrying the sanitizer into your RV. So mixing any hard stuff like that, take that all away with our filtration system, adding the sanitizer into the last canister. All right, so now we're filling up your fresh water tank. It can take a little bit just because of course your fresh water tank is going to be a lot bigger than how much your city water lines is inside your RV. So with your 75-gallon tank, this may take a little bit to fill up the tank, but sending the sanitizer into that, it's going to fill it up with the sanitizer, get your whole freshwater tank sanitized and ready for use.
And I'm good for the year.
Good to fill it back up. Yes, sir. Good for a year. We recommend at a minimum sanitize your freshwater lines as an RV tank about once a year, but you can also do it every 4 months, say when you replace your filters. Definitely up to you, but definitely once a year.
Awesome. All right. I've been RVing for years, and I can honestly say that this has been the clearest, most comprehensive demonstration I've seen for water system maintenance. It's something that I'm going to do now every year for ours. The Blu Technology team, I want to thank them. They really know their stuff. If you are interested in the water filter or the sanitation solution, they offered to give our viewers a very nice discount. Just go to rvlifestyle.com/water. I'm so grateful they were willing to share their expertise with us. So far, the difference in our water quality has been noticeable immediately. The water's been crystal clear. It's been great tasting, and I feel confident using that water now for everything from drinking to cooking to making my morning coffee and to showering. So if you've been struggling with your RV water system, I hope this demonstration helps. There are other products out. You don't have to go with Blu Technology and their filtering system. You can find other bleach-free solutions that you can put into your RV plumbing system. Just stop using the bleach, okay? Again, this is not sponsored content. I'm just sharing genuinely helpful information I received that made a big difference for us. Drop any questions or comments you have below. I'll do my best to share what I learned during the process. Thanks so much for watching. Happy trails.